Well, look who I have at Funnelcraft with me, the leadership lady herself. Leverett-Morris, welcome to Funnelcraft. Thank you so much for being one of our most esteemed speakers.
Oh my gosh, what an intro. I'm thrilled to be here with you, Kate. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Now, I like to give everybody a really lovely welcome and an intro because it's all about positioning, isn't it? And one of the reasons I really wanted you to be one of the speakers, because we're talking about funnels, we're talking about our business, and we often think that's just all about the tech stuff and, sales, and we talk about mindsets of pricing. We don't talk about necessarily who we are, how we are conducting ourselves. And we see the word leadership bandied about, and it does have more links and connotations to, big corporate industries and leading a group. And I think there's also a lot of myths and muddles around where if you're teaching somebody something then you're a leader, and that doesn't necessarily follow either. So what I'm really looking forward to is having you talk about and give everybody some insights on what actually being a leader means between them. It's crucial, isn't it? If you're a small business owner, coach, you have so much experience with the bigwigs. You said that, we can do that too. We can, can't we? Can we? Can I be a bigwig?
Trust me, even the bigwigs have the same stuff going on between their ears as we do as smaller business owners. And I think, I love everything you're saying there, because what people forget is that, firstly, leadership is not a solo sport. It's all about the people, humans, and human behavior. And what happens with solopreneurs, tiny businesses just starting out, or somebody with that first idea of, I want to achieve this in my business, or I'm going to set up a business, is that people come with this pressure of, oh, well, I'll put off leadership development until I get to a particular place. And it's the same in the entrepreneur space as in corporate, where people think, oh, I'm just at this level at this point, and that's something that the CEO does, goes off and has leadership coaching or training. Whereas what will happen is, for every entrepreneur, they will hit the same ceiling in their business at whatever stage, whether you are just starting out with your first program idea or your first product or whatever it is, the nature of your business, you will hit a ceiling. And that is the same ceiling that somebody of an 8-figure business owner will hit. And it's always between our ears. It's our identity, how we see ourselves as a leader. And for every business owner, whatever size, that is the ceiling of the business. So for people wanting to grow a business can't grow beyond your leadership. That's the limit.
Yes. That's interesting, isn't it? Because, you automatically think, well, I've got to have a team to be a leader. And actually, that's not necessarily so, is it? That's raising some good...
And particularly for entrepreneurs. There are many, many entrepreneurs that I work with and that I know that don't have a team. And one of my missions is for it to be the most high integrity, the most ethical, and the most passionate entrepreneurs that make it in this really crowded space. And we are in a world of such opportunity that you don't need a team initially. I think
I need a team. Yes.
You really don't. With technology, with the funnels that you promote and all of this, that actually has taken away such a huge need for the team that perhaps if we were doing this 15, 20 years ago, yes, we would need to be thinking team from the outset. And the other side of that coin is that we as entrepreneurs need to think of ourselves as leaders far earlier because of that. Because we need to be leading our business not just managing it. And I think every entrepreneur knows, and I know this inside out too, there is one hell of a lot to manage when setting up an online business.
Yes.
There are all the things. And the best leaders are those that are also excellent managers, or they know that they're not, in which case they outsource or they build a small team or a virtual team. But what is the key difference between being a leader and being a manager? A leader has a vision. They're moving towards something.
They're not just doing a job.
Exactly. And this is certainly in terms of the online entrepreneurs that I support, this is often the biggest shift to push through, because there is a lot to manage and it can be so overwhelming that it's so very easy to lose sight of the fact that actually we are leaders of our businesses, not managers. We are the CEO. A leader is going somewhere. There's a vision for the life that you want, for the business that you want. And crucially, in my opinion, this is what I'm all about. It's about where you want your clients to go.
Right. You see, that's the thing, isn't it? Without the clients and the customers, we don't have a business. And we could just be providing a simple service. We could be selling them a product. Either way, we have to have management skills to be able to sort of negotiate, manage all that. And we may get wonderful results. We may be doing really, really well. But where is that going? And how do we take our clients and customers beyond that? That's what you're saying, isn't it?
That is leadership, because leadership,
yeah,
as I said, it's not a solo sport. Leadership, all about us. And as the leader, it's having the ability to inspire and to engage and to guide people towards a shared vision. So as an online business owner, it's so important to have a vision, not just for your own business, but the service you're providing. And I think, I don't know about you, Kate, but when I look at all of the content in my feed, and there's so much stuff that I find boring that's about 10-figure months, 10 months, 100K. And I sit there and it makes me quite cross sometimes, because nobody's talking about the clients. It's all about this very ego-driven version of leadership. It's all about your own business. Now, I'm not averse to making money, No,
we're in. Absolutely. We have to. Yes.
That's the bottom line, literally, metaphorically. But if your business is about service, that is such an integral piece of the leadership to master, because it's all about influence. Leadership, the days of command and control have long gone, and that's the case in corporate. So I work across, as you know, I work in corporate and I work in the entrepreneur space.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, I am you. I am also that small entrepreneur who's scaling my online business. So we're in the same industry.
Yeah.
The difference is, I think, between those today that are going to make it big are those that have their client success dialed in, so embodied in their own sense of purpose for their business. That's what the world wants today. We're so done with scammers, the spammers, the funnels that herd people into containers of thousands of people like cattle.
Yeah.
That bubble's burst. And
it has. It's changed. It's a big shift. And people want integrity, they want authenticity. And I know people throw those words around a lot, but actually people used to use them is in ways of salesy. Well, instead of the word salesy, it's a promotional tactic. Make sure that you cover this. As you know, people want more. They want the real thing. They don't want us to just talk about it and fluff. They want the real thing. And whatever success means to you, you are helping. You don't have to be earning a fixed amount and have that as a marker as a level of success, because that's very personal. I find I go, hold on a minute, I don't want to have to say, well, I earn this, I do this, and I don't. It's nobody's business. It's if I'm feeling successful in my own way, if I'm doing what brings me joy, right, I can breathe. I'm more relaxed. And then that's going to be better for my clients, because I'm going to hear them more. I'm not going to just listen to what they say. I'm going to hear what they're saying. I'm going to really, and I'm going to understand. And I always think a true leader is somebody who could turn around and say, right, I actually can't help you. We haven't all been privileged to be in that situation. There are times when we've had to take on clients that we may not have wanted to necessarily, or the price points, because we need the money. Let's face it, we need to earn money. Otherwise we don't have a business. And especially when you have fluctuations of costs of living, entrepreneur space, and personal development, because we overlook the personal development because we want business development. And this is where you come in with sort of the cross, bringing the two together. And so I think I can deliver more when I'm feeling successful. And I'm going to be truly honest that some days I wake up and I don't feel very successful at all. But it's not just an overall thing. It's just in that moment. It's just in that moment I'm thinking, well, I chose to go to bed late and now I have messed up the whole day. Oh, I must be a bit of a rubbish entrepreneur. I don't think that. I just think, well, I made some silly choices there. That's not very, but I'm not going to suddenly let it eat away at me and impact the rest of what I'm doing. But that's because it's taken me years of personal development and growth, and to recognize the impact of that on my clients. And I've been, I've always come from, I say funnels, it's customer journey. I've always said customer journey, and that's what it is. We want people to come into our world. Oh, do you know what, Alison? There are some people who send emails. People say, emails are dead. I love getting some people's emails. I look forward to them. I'll read them. And others I don't, so I unsubscribe. Now, I don't have to necessarily buy something from them. But do you know what? I often recommend and refer people to them, because I say, hey, check this person out. Because do you know what? They've got a real good feeling and that undertone of humanity, I dare I say.
And you're so right. I mean, I think, speaking for all of us, there are times when we are absolutely fantastic at beating ourselves up, and really struggling and pushing through that self-doubt. And this is where the self-leadership comes in. It really all begins with self-leadership, because nobody's coming to save us at the end of the day. It's having the resilience and the strength to bounce back, but also not being a robot. It's okay to it's okay to have days when it feels so hard, but the key is to not stay there. And equally, vision is so important, to know where you're going, and to know why, your purpose. But what I feel really strongly, and what I bring into my own leadership framework that I help people with, is that actually vision and purpose alone is not enough either. You do need a strategy, and it needs to be the right strategy. I feel for so many entrepreneurs, and I've been there, when you're buying all the things, you're doing all the programs, you have enough unfinished courses to start your own shop. And often it's because you're working on trying to fix the wrong problem in your own business.
Yes, nails on heads have just been hit.
And this happens. I've actually just come off a coaching session with a CEO that I coach of an 8-figure business. It's the same. This is what I'm trying to say. We are the same, whether you're one person who's really excited and working towards your first $1,000 sale, or whether you're a CEO, but it's the same. And I call this your highest leverage move. This is the heart of how I work, is let's find your highest leverage move, because often what you're working so hard on is actually a problem within your comfort zone, where there's this scary problem or scary issue or scary opportunity that if you just went for that, that moves the needle on your business. So my approach, at the end of the day, I'm a psychotherapist. That's what I am. I used to be the person earning $60 an hour with a full one-to-one client load. And it's my own leadership framework and my own process and really investing in my mindset and my ability to push through the hard stuff and always do the right thing, not the easy thing, which is the integrity piece. That I passionately believe this is what people want today. I heard what you said earlier about who you don't work with.
Yeah.
And there have been many people. I mean, I'm quite known for saying I don't work with assholes.
No, and actually, this is what I'm going to be helping everyone with in Funnelcraft. We're not going to call her title this. I suddenly came up with 2 titles for you there, Alison. One was how not to work with assholes, which I think people will be very interested in. And the other one is that, billionaire CEOs have feelings too.
And this is what I mean. So I really do need to just explain what I mean by that. What I mean is there are so few people who are genuinely toxic or out to shut people. We have to accept that in business there are people with different values.
Of course.
Most people, when their behaviours are difficult to be around. So a lot of our entrepreneurs have left corporate for that reason. They were really struggling. Usually, in most cases, that's a person that's struggling with their leadership. They've hit that ceiling that I talked about earlier. And with the support and nurture and a framework and a strategy, and to really look at where are you putting your energy and being supported to really lean into who you authentically are. Because you're so right what you said earlier. These words like authenticity, integrity, they're bandied around, and people say authentic, just be yourself. I'm a hypnopsychotherapist and a neuroscience coach. There is nothing more difficult than being yourself because we're so good at compromise.
I don't know who I am. I keep finding new things about. If I don't know who I think, I'm going to put my teeth in here and go, right. I'm somebody who likes to personally just keep growing, and I keep finding out new things. So that means I am never going to know who I really am, because am I just not me who just likes to learn more and improve myself? Is that just not who I am? It's simplifying it, isn't it? And I know that
so not who you were yesterday.
Yeah. Unless yesterday, obviously, I had a date with Brad Pitt. Just saying, because that would
stay there. But what I mean is business. We are. If people want to grow a business, my view is if it's not growing, it's on its way out. It's dying. It doesn't necessarily mean bigger, but there needs to be some growth, whether that's a growth in the product you're putting out there or your service. Not everybody wants to have a huge business to manage. For some people, they want to stay a certain size, and that's fine. But there needs to be some growth. And if we stay stuck as the person we were 5 years ago, a year ago, and the business isn't going to grow, the two are in alignment there. Yeah. And that's when it can just shift a bottleneck that people perhaps hadn't realized was there. And I really, in fact, I had this conversation with somebody yesterday that was potentially going to work with me. And I actually said I didn't feel my offer was right for her at this point. I feel so much money is wasted, and it's so easy to be seduced by shiny objects and think, I need that. And the thing I want you to understand is that's really impacting your confidence as a leader in a way that you don't realize, because you're putting yourself unconsciously, and I say this having been there myself, unconsciously, you're putting yourself in the position of follower, not leader. And does that make sense? That actually when you feel you need to be in that program, in that mastermind, in that group, as valuable these things are, but if you're coming from that place of that person's going to do it for me, then actually you're not owning your own leadership for your own business. And the best programs, the best facilitators, the best mentors, the best guides are those that are genuinely in it for their clients' success.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to be covering in Funnelcraft, isn't it? We're going to be talking, you're going to be talking all about the points, you're going to give tips, you're going to help us step into that. And because it's, I have ADHD, it's very, neurodivergent friendly event as well, I think it's going to be really helpful because you're going to just break it down. So we often have struggled with that. Who are we when we mask? Are we being authentic? How do we know? And actually, this is what we're going to touch on, isn't it? How will we recognize ourselves as a leader? Because if we can have those pointers in, even when we're struggling around ourselves, as long as we're hitting those pointers, we can just tick those little boxes. We can say, no, it's okay. I'm still me. I'm just having a day like this or a day like that, like anybody would. But we question that more, and that impacts our confidence, and that would impact our belief that we can lead. So I'm really looking forward to having that aspect of it as well, because I think it's going to be helpful for everybody, regardless of whether you have a neurodivergent brain or not. And quite a lot of people are. So,
yeah. And I think you've put together such an amazing panel of speakers, and the way that the day's going to be structured, that it'll be fun, interactive, and the fact that you've instructed us all very clearly. I want people to have a takeaway. I don't want people to think, more information. It's what I hope is that through my speech is that we have one piece that they can actually take back into their business and start a ripple effect of them growing the leader that they absolutely can be.
I think it's going to make an impact on the day, actually, because I will say now that Alison's going to be our first speaker, because I think this is really important, that they can then bear in mind, how this is going to impact everything else that everybody else teaches them. And so, because I just think they can look at everything they've learned, they've come with an open mind to learn things. But if you've also got, well, actually, let me also consider whilst I'm learning it, how this perspective fits. I just think they're going to get so much more out of the day and everything that they're here to learn. And I think it's going to make a lot of shifts and changes and ahas. So I'm really looking forward to. Also, afterwards as well. The conversations that we're all going to have throughout the day. And I know you're going to say to me, I had an amazing conversation with so and so, and that's also what's going to be really exciting. So I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you very much for being part of this wonderful event. And the bonus as well is that because you live in Oxford too,
it's like 5 minutes from where I live. I was like, you're bring right.
If I get over, I'm going to pop round to you and have a cup of tea halfway through.
I can't wait. There's nothing better than being in that room, because you can read people's bios and read that, and it sounds, and I get this at all the time. I say, when people read psychotherapist, neuroscience, they become this scary person.
Yeah.
And actually, I say this all the time. We are all human. We all have our doubts. We all have our we lack confidence in, and we all have these amazing talents that bright support. We get to put them out in the world and change lives, and how amazing is that?
It's going to be brilliant. And if people can't get there themselves, they're virtually watching the live stream. This could actually, your talk could help set them up for the day, and it could impact the fact that they then have the confidence to go to an event which, somewhere else, because I know, some people struggle getting to events, all the peopling, and they try and make it as friendly as possible, but it's the small steps, and by having the access to, these additional mindset perspectives of how we learn what we need to do, building a funnel, which, you wouldn't think of. I think that could make a big difference for everybody, whether they're there in person or not. But we would, please do go and get your tickets, because
it'd be such a valuable day. I mean, I'm going to be there. I'm an avid note taker. I cannot wait to listen to all of the speakers. I think that that it's just the whole whole package of what you need to be an online business owner is there in a day.
Oh, well, brilliant. Right. Well, thank you so much. And we'll see you all in October, folks.